in roster statements as the former UFC interim welterweight champion and the natural-born killer, Carlos Condit.
That with the full training camp, the team that he put together to get better, that he has actually gone back. He's in a much better place opposed to last fight in terms of spiritually.
To engage with the best welterweights in the world.
You know, this is the second time, this is the second part of his career for me. Like, he was an incredible...
Taller by 2 inches, he will have just a half-inch advantage in reach. All right, now for the introductions for the co-main, here is Bruce Buffer.
Is the co-main event of the evening. This fight is 3 rounds in the UFC welterweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, a technical brawler, holding a professional record, 24 wins, 17 losses. He stands 6 feet tall, weighing in at 171 pounds. Fighting out of Columbus, Ohio, USA, Matt the Immortal Brown. And now introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, a mixed martial artist holding a professional record, 31 wins, 13 losses. He stands 6 feet 2 inches tall, weighing in at 171 pounds. Fighting out of Albuquerque, New Mexico, USA, he is the former WEC welterweight champion and the former interim UFC welterweight champion, the natural-born killer, Carlos Condit. And when the action begins, our referee in charge, Mark Goddard.
Mark Goddard draws the co-main event assignment tonight. Matt the Immortal Brown, father of 3, is in the building. Carlos Condit is here for his 18th UFC appearance. This fight clock is brought to you by Modelo. Condit in black, Matt Brown is in white. Co-main event is underway. Condit trying to get untracked early.
That's one of those classic Carlos Condit combinations where he throws those punches and you think it's over and that kick flies right over the top. He caught Georges St-Pierre with that, and he's knocked out a number of guys over the course of his career with that beautiful combo.
He's a dangerous and awkward fighter. He's got a really strange time in the way he delivers his shots. Kind of on a half beat, they'll catch you by surprise. But then you've got Matt Brown in front of you, who counters kicks with elbows. It just doesn't happen. And Carlos was in his corner. He was trying to fire Matt Brown up. You've got Ricky Lundell over his shoulder going, start fast, start fast. There's a game plan here, and I think they're trying to catch Matt Brown cold.
Well, Matt Brown says that he wants to fight a little more reserved. He wants to be a little more patient, show some of the new skills that he's developed. So if you're Carlos Condit, you want to draw out that guy that, if he gets rolling, can be a real problem, but at times makes a lot of mistakes, as we've seen Matt Brown do over the course of his career. And there he goes to that beautiful body lock and gets that takedown.
That has been Carlos Condit's kryptonite at an early takedown a minute in for Matt Brown.
And some blood. Yeah, where's that coming from?
That's from Matt Brown.
Yeah.
I wonder if he got caught with an elbow or something on the way in. This absolutely is not where Carlos Condit wants to be, but he does have good submissions from his guard as well. I mean, Matt Brown is using that head pressure and using the fence very, very well to keep Carlos in a situation where he can't really do a great deal.
I know a lot of guys, when they fight from the top, Matt Brown's doing a great job with the head position. On your feet against the side of the octagon in the clinch, wrestlers, they always control with their head, but they don't apply that same approach on the mat. When you're on top as a wrestler and your opponent, if his head is pinned against the side of the octagon or flat on the ground, you're doing great. So Matt Brown's doing exactly what he needs to do there with the head positioning. Nothing changes from floor to standing up.
And these camera angles really give you an understanding of how uncomfortable this position is for Carlos. You can see him sweeping his shoulders across that corner post, trying to find an angle to alleviate the pressure in his neck. But Matt Brown doing a good job of keeping him very square to the fence and making those elbows count. There was no way this wasn't going to be a bloody fight.
And it happens right away.
Right away.
And still can't figure out what happened, how the cut started.
We're hearing told he scraped his head on the fence when he took him down. So we'll try to track a replay for you.
That can't feel good.
Crazy
And that would cut
career
you
y'all
very
chose.
bad. Yeah.
Just over 2 minutes here in round one.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
Just
J.A.,
seeing
I'm
people
much
here.
happier sitting here next
I
to you.
bet.
I mean,
Oh, man, there it is. We just saw that in our
Yeah, you're going to see
isolation
that
monitor.
soon. Well, that's rough. He might be immortal, but he still bleeds.
Matt is doing a fantastic job of controlling. For Carlos to try to get away, he has got to try to find some height. He's got to get his body above Matt Brown's body, then start to shove the head back towards your legs. Especially with the blood, you can start to force him down to your legs and then start to stand up right here. He's getting space, but now he's got to get some height here.
Condit trying to create some space. Throws a triangle up, but Matt Brown's wise to it. Trying to control an arm now, maybe threatens an arm bar. Nice high guard work by Condit, forcing Brown to be defensive.
This is an underrated part of Matt Brown's game, and for a long time, people have not really given him the credit that he deserves in terms of his grappling and his ground and pound.
Under a minute to go, Ricky Lundell calling for Condit to drive here, maybe try to leverage a hip and get up.
John, look at what Matt's doing with his left arm. He's trying to feed Condit's arm back to that hand so that he's not allowing him to build his base back up on his elbow. Look at that. You see it? He's got that hand. So Condit's now stuck. He cannot get up on his elbow to try to stand up.
It's still a trade-off, though, because that does tie up one of Matt Brown's arms as well.
Yeah, but the one hand that needs to be punching is that right.
Yeah.
And look, it's free, and he's going to start trying to throw it. The Condit was very aware, got two hands on one, baseball bat grip, and now he's getting back to his feet. Oh, nice switch.
Very nice.
Oh, look at Carlos Condit just playing some wrestling.
And he's got some sharp elbows of his own as well. We remember the Thiago Alves fight. One of the best turnarounds of a fight I've ever seen. Matt Brown on a leg lock.
Little elbow from Condit late in the round. Round two coming up.
Sit down, lean back again.